he endorses democracy. He agrees with democracy. He wants to preserve our democracy. There's the choice. We've heard it a million times. And yet, Katty, and I have to say it because a lot of people are influenced by what they watch on Fox News. And I watch the Sunday shows. And there's all this material. There's this craven speech in Nevada in the sweltering heat where he flippantly talks about a woman who lost her leg in a shark attack, and he makes it fodder for his speech. Let's not even begin with the J6 hostages. He calls them hostages at a time, actually, where there are hostages being held in one of the two major wars that President Biden is dealing with. Israeli hostages, some of them Americans, who are being tortured and truly held captive. But he wants to say the people who defecated on the Capitol, broke in, broke windows, ran through the halls, talked about killing Nancy Pelosi and Mike Pence, those people who are being held accountable for their crimes by courts through the law. He wants to call them hostages. It's sick. It's depraved. I don't need to say, some say it is. It is depraved. And yet on Fox News, I watched a segment about whether or not Trump would be a dictator, and after running a number of sound bites of people concerned about things he has said, because he promises to do things that are like acts committed by a dictator, or even says he will be one. And then some person on the right who says there's no proof he ever said it, he didn't say it. Then a soundbite of Sean Hannity asking him, would you be a dictator? And Trump not answering the question. And then the host saying, there, it's settled. He's not going to be a dictator. We'll be right back. I have to say it because so many people are influenced by what they watch on Fox News. And they're not giving a clear picture. Yet moving forward, is it not clear, the picture? Am I crazy? Because I have eyes, and I see one person who doesn't seem at all sane, who loves dictators and wants to be one, and another who's getting a little older, but quite frankly, doing quite well on the world stage under pretty tough circumstances, answering questions on his own with no teleprompter and sounding just fine. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, look, this weekend was exactly what the Biden team want. And by the way, congratulations on getting a balanced news diet. I think it is, in this tribal, polarized world, it actually is probably beneficial for everybody to get some kind of balanced news diet so that we start knowing what other people are hearing when it comes to the news context. But I think you're right, Mika. It gives us, it's very easy if we all just only watch one source of news, or the source of news that falls with our own political beliefs. That is when you might get taken by surprise in an election when you don't win it, and you think, oh my God, but I was hearing all of this stuff. And that applies both to liberals and conservatives. So it really is a public service announcement. Make sure that you get a balanced news diet. But this is what the Biden campaign wants. They want more of what we saw this weekend. All of that material that you're talking about, that we played those clips from. And yeah, it is sort of tempting to laugh at the meandering nature of, I don't even know what that was. Was that some kind of woke pro-shark
I don't know.
Attack, critique? I don't even know really what that was or why it crept into the speech. But it's what the Biden campaign feels, in a way, that the race has been frozen during the course of the trial, right? It was put on pause almost because Donald Trump was tied up in a courtroom. Now Donald Trump will be back, and the Biden campaign sees this as advantageous to them because the American public will see this. Now it'd be interesting to see how those clips about the shark, about especially that line about "I don't care about you, I just want your vote," how that is played on news outlets that are sympathetic to Donald Trump. Does it get any airtime? And if it does,
nope.
Is it just, is it just kind of dismissed as, well, that's the kind of thing he says, you mustn't take him too seriously? It's hard to know what breaks through in this incredibly siloed news world that we all live in. It is very hard to know what breaks through, but the Biden team thinks the best chance they have is making this a referendum on Donald Trump. So the more Donald Trump is out there, the more he is saying things, that they think the choice becomes more stark.
Yeah, I heard from some senior Biden advisors in recent days, and they do think the events of the last week, the trip to France,